Good evening and welcome. Welcome to my Sunday night live cast. We're here to fight CPS and stop taking our children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and I've been on here and doing this live stream for the last 18 months. I started in October of 83, and I'm on twice a day, 7 days a week. I've not missed a day of it. But it's a warm welcome, and here you are to fight something that I call CPS, which is the Child Protection Systems. It's found in every county, in every state, and every country in the world. This is a worldwide live stream, meaning that anybody that has internet can pick this up. And so far, I've had 22 countries that have either text or called in. And I've had all 50 states, a representative from some one of the 50 states, some more than the others. I've also had the District of Columbia. And whether we're talking about Indonesia or Saudi Arabia or the Republic of Congo or Europe or across the pond to North America, to Canada, to the United States, to South America, to the Pacific, to New Zealand and Australia. Over 1,500 some people have talked to me about CPS and have done them wrong. I too was a victim of CPS, and I'm here to try to help you all. I'm trying to help you get through this quagmire, this nightmare of an agency that's gone rogue in a lot of areas. Now, they were supposed to protect our children from neglect and abuse, and also do family reunification if they need to break the family apart. Now, in 1962, Congress passed a law that created CPS, and they told social services to get a group of social workers and get a name for the CPS group. So every county may have different names. Some is Child Protection Service, some of the Department of Children and Family Services. Some of it is even, hold on one second. I had a cord here. Okay. My cord just fell down. It's my cord for my phone. I want to make sure it's properly charged. So I'm here to help you. I too am a victim of CPS. I too am a victim of CPS. And I've gone through hell with my case many times over. I've lost my home. I lost one of my children. I even can't get a job. My credit's ruined. Working with CPS has been a nightmare. And my case was in Orange County. And they called it Child Protection Services. It's very corrupt. Dealing with CPS is like dealing with Alice in Wonderland. You fell in the rabbit hole, you met the Cheshire Cat, and you sent from room to room, going nowhere. Fighting CPS is like open heart surgery. You know you need a good doctor to do open heart surgery. So you need an attorney, a good attorney that's schooled in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. Someone who's fought CPS. And that candidate right now is my attorney, Vincent Davis. Now, I've known him for over 10 years. I met him after fighting for CPS for 5, and I've been fighting them for 15 years. Unfortunately, a reporter there are two kinds of reporting people. There's mandate reporters who are the professionals, people that work with children like policemen, nurses, and doctors and teachers. Then there are the lay people who are the other kinds of reporters. It's your neighbors, it's your family members, it's acquaintances, those kinds of people there that report. Now, the mandate report, the professionals are right about 75% of the time, but the lay people are right about half the time. They use it to sometimes masquerade their motive is to undermine another spouse, to retaliate on a neighbor, It's a nightmare. And you have to be careful because when a report is made, CPS gets that report and thinks it's the truth and you're guilty. It's the only court of law where you're guilty until you're proven innocent. Then they have to send an investigator within 24 hours to investigate. And they usually don't have anything. That's why they need to get in your home or talk to you. And you should not let them in your home. You should not talk to them. You need to have your attorney present when you do talk to them or in your home. You have an attorney present. You should meet them in public places so you can document and record them. Things like the library, Starbucks, or McDonald's. There you can make copies, video, and sound recordings of everything that's taken place. I know Texas is one of those states where it only takes one party to acknowledge that. And it could be you. It could be you. Now, every time we're together, we have the people that regularly come in here. They're my family, and I appreciate them here because they all give constructive criticisms and they want to help. They want to help. Now, it starts off kind of slow with people dribbling in. And during this downtime, I like to tell people several ways that they can interact with this live stream. One is to text a comment or a question. It should pertain to CPS. Please state your name, your first name, your city or county, and your state. And if you're outside the United States, your country. Also, please tell me about your CPS case from beginning to where you're at. So that's one way. Another way is to be a guest on my live stream. I can take up 9 of you to be a guest. All you have to do is pick one of my 14 shows. Now, I'm on Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. and on the weekends at 8 a.m. Then the weeknights and weekend nights, I'm on at 7. Those are all Pacific Standard Time, the West Coast of California. And those are my 14 times. So when you're writing to my show producer, all you have to say is, I want to be on Bob's Wednesday morning show or Bob's Saturday night show or Bob's Sunday morning show or Bob's Tuesday morning show. That's all you have to tell her, and she'll get you on there. Now, the link she gives you will be to StreamYard. StreamYard is a software application I use on YouTube. I'm broadcasting on YouTube, and there's 7 rooms from Facebook that are connected to this room. So if you all happen to find me, Fight CPS with Bob Pace, you'll be connected to this room. And again, I am live. And for the next hour, I will try to help you with your case. I will try to help you with your case. Now, she'll send you the link, and then she'll also help you to get on the link in there. And she'll say, you know, what you can do and not do, like you can't smoke or eat on the live stream. Also, you can't use the names of people, especially the children and the judges and the social workers. So those are 3. Oh, the third way, I can't forget the third way. The third way is to call my phone number at 626-698-0990. You can call in on that number and reach me on my phone. And you can talk to me. The other number, 888-888-6582, is the law offices of Vincent Davis. There you can reach Mr. Davis. Also, you can reach other attorneys if you need. Criminal matter, immigration matter, workplace matter, insurance matter, etc. He has an attorney for all your needs. Also, they can give you the schedule of live streams that Vincent Davis may be on, or I'm on, or Mrs. G, or KK Richardson out of Brooklyn, New York. We have lots of people doing the live screen. So they'll tell you that. Also, they have lots of books and guides they can sell you. Like the newest guide out is the Grandparents Guide of How to Adopt Your Grandkids, a step-by-step guide made for California, but it'll work in other states, and parents should see that guide there too. It's really good. There's excellent things in there. It's $9.99, but if you use my discount code, capital PACE50, you get half off. You get half off, less than $5. So Get that guide. You will really love it. There's lots of information that Mr. Davis has that can help you. He has lots of plans and packages and whatnot. So my number's up, and I'd like very much to talk to you guys, see something I want to talk about. Now, here is Cat Mom. I think you're new. I have a wild story for you. Oh boy. I live in Indiana. Okay, Cat Mom. Glad to meet you, Cat. Go on with your story. Wait for Cat Mom to tell me the story from Indiana. Now, I've had 3 or 4 people from Indiana, so it's not the first CPS case about Indiana. Now, Cat Mom, if you want to call in, you can call in my number if that works out easier for you. If that works out easier for you. My number is live, and you're certainly welcome to call in. Now, hey, Cruel, welcome from Ventura. Cruel is from Ventura, California. Her name is Felicia. She lives with her mom, and her brother's been trying to make her life miserable by raiding her mailbox and causing havoc with her home. So I don't know if she's in her home. I don't know where her mom is. Her mom is lost. She has 2 babies that she's not seen. So anyway, Felicia is saying something here. Let me see what she says. She says, I was awake for Attorney Davis live early this morning. Oh, good. He's on at 6:30. I was able to get a few answers from him. That's great. That was really helpful. I'm so glad to hear that, Cruel. I'm so here to say that. He told me to call him. I've been able to call him, but I sent him a text, just waiting for a reply. Okay, I'm so glad you connected with Mr. Davis. Now, for some of you who may not know, Mr. Davis is my attorney. He is a juvenile law, family law, dependency lawyer. He's been doing this for 39 years. He's a trial attorney, and he knows his business well. He's gotten thousands of children rescued from CPS and gotten returned home to their parents. He's also done civil lawsuits. When the case is closed, he will sue them on your constitutional and civil rights. And he's won millions of dollars, both in state court and federal court. So he's the real deal. He's the real deal. So I'm so glad Cruel has now touched base with Vincent Davis. That sounds great. Now, Cat Mom, are you still going to tell me the story? I'm waiting. I'm anticipating. And I want to hear this wild story. And how can I help you, Cat Mom from Indiana? We have Cruel, who's Felicia from Ventura, California. Now, Cruel says, my daughter's birth month. She's going to be 2 the 28th of May. I've done my best trying to think of family friends who haven't been tainted by the rumors, who I can ask to let me know if they have. Oh boy. Her brother's been so mean to her. So mean to her. It's not right. It's certainly not right. And I'm worried about your mom, Cruel. Is your mom all right? You got an invitation to her birthday party. I'm sure I won't be personally invited, as I've had no contact with. Cruel says, I still don't know where my mom is. Oh boy. Her mom's been missing now for a couple months. And she says her family members have turned against her and her mom. I hope you can find your mom, Cruel. That sounds terrible. That sounds terrible. Now, Cat Mom from Indiana, do you have the story you want to tell me? Now, I've been talking about a couple things. I've been talking about how to get legal advice for free. You know, it's so hard to find help. And so I have found something called a legal help in CPS cases and a comprehensive guide. Navigating the complexities of child protection services can be overwhelming, especially for those without legal expertise. Access to competent legal representation is essential, as these cases often involve high stakes concerning child custody and parental rights. Understand where and how to obtain free legal help can significantly impact defending one's interests effectively. Now, understanding CPS cases. The Child Protection Services cases revolve around the welfare and safety of children, often arising from allegation of abuse, neglect, or other circumstances endangering a child's well-being. CPS aims to ensure children's safety while balancing parental rights through legal procedures and investigation, which can be very daunting for those involved. The process typically begins with a report or complaint prompting a CPS investigation. Social workers assess the situation to determine if the child is at risk. If evidence of harm or potential harm is found, CPS may temporarily move the child from the home, leading to a court hearing where a judge decides on the child's immediate future. The legal standards and evidentiary requirements in these hearings can be complex, necessitating a very skilled representation. That's why you need an attorney, skilled in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. That's the only way you're going to be able to fight it in court to get your children back. Now, throughout the proceedings, the best interest of the child and standard guidelines outcome consider factors like the child's safety, emotional needs, and home stability. Parents have the right to contest CPS findings and present their case, highlighting the importance of understanding the legal framework and having access to effective legal counsel. Now, you have a right to legal representation in CPS cases. The right of representation ensures fairness and justice, anchored in due process principles that protect individuals against arbitrary denial of parental rights. Legal representation is critical for parents involved in CPS matters, providing a voice to challenge allegations and present their side effectively. In many jurisdictions in the U.S., parents have a statutory right to an attorney in CPS cases, especially when the state seeks to remove a child or terminate parental rights. This right is often enshrined in state laws, such as the California Welfare Institution Code, Section 317, mandating counsel for parents unable to afford one. That's where they provide the court-appointed attorney. While laws vary by state, the objective remains to ensure adequate representation in matters that could alter family structures. The only sad part about the court-appointed attorneys is they're only not schooled in juvenile law, family law, or dependency law. They're schooled in criminal law. They also won't fight for your case and have a caseload of 30 more clients. So you need to get a real attorney. A skilled attorney can scrutinize evidence, question CPS finding, and advocate for the parent's interests in court. They navigate procedures, inaccuracies, file necessary motions, and negotiate with CPS to explore alternative solutions that do not involve drastic measures like remove the child from the home. You know, that's one thing is sad because it seems like all the cases today, they remove the child. My children were taken. They're not in any kind of danger whatsoever. They're in school, but they were taken and put into CPS. And the more I fought the county, the worse it got for me. I wrote a lot of emails. I tried to fight them. I tried to use my court-appointed attorney. It was terrible. The court-appointed attorney did not know juvenile law or family law. They were taken advantage by CPS. They're a friend of CPS. So a year later, I got an attorney. His name was Vincent W. Davis. He got back my 2 boys. Unfortunately, my daughter was used as retaliation by the CPS worker. My attorney, Vincent Davis, had flushed her out and she committed perjury on the witness stand in court under oath. So we had her on the ropes. But she retaliated. She was so embarrassed being caught with committing perjury in court. She lied, of course. Lied big time. She retaliated by telling our daughter, 12, You can emancipate your parents at age 12. That means you can divorce your mom and dad, your sisters and brothers, your relatives, your in-laws, grandparents, all your aunts and uncles and everything. They're all compromised. It's really sad. Let me see. Let me go back to the room and see if um, our lady from Indiana has said anything. Cat Mom, I've not heard from you. What happened? Looks like Cruel's doing all the talking. Cruel says, made another report with the APSA. Now, what does the APSA stand for, Cruel? Oh, APS. Association for something. Yes. Is that a missing person report you're trying to make your mom? I've been trying to arrange a ride someday to maybe drive around the areas I think she might be. Wow. Um, you can call 911 and talk to 911 about your mom missing. That way, if you call the police, they'll hide things, they'll cover up. Now, hello, Britton McCormick. I know you're Margaret's daughter. It's good to see you again. Hey, I hope well. So, wanted to know how you will handle this dilemma. I requested the discovery. I've been for months, but last month I was given the transfer summary, SC1. I was guest doing research, and what they gave me is not what they have written on their paperwork. That's sad. That is really, really sad. You need to show that to your attorney and have them look at that because you're supposed to have what they, you know, it is hard. I know it's hard. Now we're half an hour into the live stream and my phone is not rung. It's open to anybody that wants to call in and talk. And you get rewards. If you talk on my phone or be a guest on my live stream, you'll be entitled to a 15-minute private Zoom conference meeting with Vincent Davis. And you can make a list of questions and ask away. And he'll give you the answers to your questions. Just prioritize them, the most important one first. But that's what you should do. Call in or be a guest and get a free session with Mr. Davis, a free session. Well, I go back to what I was reading because no one is calling or anything there. Let me see here. To qualify for a court, now, by the way, court appointed attorney is not given to anybody. You have to qualify for it. You have to qualify for a court appointed attorney by determining your financial circumstances. If you're low income, you most likely will qualify. The initial step involves assessing individual financial situation, including income, assets, and obligations. They like to look at tax returns, ensuring that only the genuine in need receive a state-funded legal aid. But that legal aid is very undesirable. They're not trained or schooled in dependency law, juvenile law, or family law. Um, they're criminal attorneys. They're brand new starting out. They work for CPS, so they're not going to give you a free um, attention to your needs. Now, once the financial need is established, the court examines the case specifics to determine the necessity of appointing an attorney. CPS cases are complex and the stakes are high, often justify the need for legal counsel. However, the court ensures that the appointment is warranted based on the case particular and particularly family consequences. Well, in a good CPS area, I agree, but not all CPS are good. There's a lot of rogue CPSs out there. I know LA County, Orange County, Riverside, San Bernardino, Kern County, California are terrible. So using a court appointed attorney, you have to qualify, and then if you do use them, you have to make them work for you. Now, the other area of attorney is called pro bono. That means they'll do it for free. Problem is, you get nothing when you pay for free. The pro bono services can be transformation for individuals navigating CPS. These services offered by attorneys volunteering their time and expertise, providing a lifeline to those who may not qualify for court appointed counsel, cannot afford a private representation. The motivation behind pro bono work often stems from a commitment to social justice and ensuring equity access to legal support. Pro bono attorneys bring knowledge and advocacy skill, collaborating with legal aid organizations or bar associations to identify cases when their expertise can make a difference. The approach broadens like the reach of a pro bono service and enriches the attorney's understanding of the nuisance issue face in these proceedings. There's also, besides pro bono, there's a non-fit organization that offers free legal aid. Nonprofit organizations play a pivotal role in providing free legal assistance to CPS cases, often bridging the gap for individuals who do not meet the criteria for court-appointed attorneys, yet cannot afford a private counsel. These organizations offer specialized support tailored to the unique challenges posed by CPS's proceedings. Organizations like the Legal Aid Society and the National Association of Counsel for Children offer services, including legal representation, workshops, and informative resources that empower parents to understand their rights and navigate the CPS process. Those nonprofit often operate on a sliding scale after service. Now, organizations like the Legal Aid Society and the National Association of Counsel for Children offer services including legal representation, workshops, and informative resources that empower parents to understand their rights and navigate the CPS process. These nonprofit often operate on a sliding scale or other services entirely free of charge, making them accessible to those that need them most. There's also legal counsel and law school programs. Legal clinics and law school programs serve a valuable resource for individuals seeking free legal assistance in CPS cases. These clinics, typically run by law schools, offer students practical experiments under the supervision of a licensed attorney, providing clients with comprehensive legal representation at no cost. Let me come back to my room here. I've talked, sometimes I get long winded here talking about other topics, and I really want to cater to you guys here. Now, we've had some people come to my room since I've been talking about how to get legal help. Um, Christina Reynosa, welcome. So glad to see you. Christina Reynosa is from California. Hi, Bob. I wanted to file a 388. I didn't because my court appointed told me the judge would not allow it. Well, a 388, the way it's explained to me, the way it's supposed to be used, it's a motion that anybody can make, has to be served on all parties. Within 30 days, have a court hearing regarding new information, like you've completed your parenting classes or something came up that was discovered. So that's the 388. So I don't know what your court appointed attorney is saying why you can't file one. Because if you have new information, then it's important. Now I have Amorous Fair Lady. You should see what they did to me and my babies. I haven't been able to breathe since that day. I don't know how old I am anymore or what even today's date or the time. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We have Mrs. Ramirez Hunt, Lady of the House. Can we ask a question about her active child welfare case? Yes, you can. I'm open to questions. I'd love to have your case. I'd love for you to ask a question. Okay. I want to hear what they did, Emrys, and I have no idea where you're from. And the lady of the house, where are you from? And you can ask a question. Death cannot come fast enough for me. I lay here and wait every day anxiously. I'm so sorry. I welcome you. The world will never know the pain I suckled on every day. I know the pain you're suckling. I lost a daughter to CPS. I lost a daughter from a CPS worker that retaliated because she was caught committing perjury under oath. And she retaliated by telling our daughter to emancipate from the parents at age 12, to change her name, to seal her birth certificate, get a new birth certificate, get a second social security card, and double dip for my retirement, and then get adopted by foster care. That to me hurts really big time. And that's wrong. That's what a social worker did. So I know about pain. Christopher Wilson, can I ask? Yes, you can. about an active case in Mississippi. Took all 5 of your kids. I'm so sorry to hear that. You're the second person from Mississippi in the last couple days. So, yes, please, Christine, all of you, you can ask questions. I'm here. Amville Farrell Lily is from Pennsylvania. Welcome. Welcome. From Pennsylvania, okay? And Lily of the House, I have no idea where you're from. And everybody else I pretty much know. But I'm here. My phone number is there. You can call in. We still have 20 minutes left of this live stream, and I'd love for you to talk about your case, and we can help you. We can help you. So ask me away, Christopher Wilson, who's from Mississippi, and Amelia Farnelli is from Pennsylvania. You both can ask questions. You can call in or be a guest on my live stream for tomorrow morning show or tomorrow night show. Now, I'm waiting for questions. I'm going back to reading about how to get legal help. Now, you can secure free legal assistance. Securing free legal assistance in CPS cases involve understanding and navigating the available resource individuals start by evaluating their abilities for different types of assistance, considering factors like income, case specifics, and local resource availability. Now, once suitable resources are identified, individuals should engage with these organizations to understand the application process and any documentation required. This also involves attending informative sessions, filling out applications, or participating in initial consultations to assess the case's merits by proactively seeking chances of securing the support necessary to manage their CPS cases effectively. Maintaining often communication with legal representation is essential for the understanding of case dynamics and developing a robust legal strategy. So there I'm talking about ways to getting comprehensive help. I've talked about understanding CPS cases, the right to legal representation in CPS cases, qualifying for a court-appointed attorney, pro bono, um, pro bono, where did that go? Pro bono. Pro bono legal service for CPS cases, nonprofit organizations offering free legal aid, legal clinics, and law school. Okay, I'm going to come back to the room here. I just was on the internet, and I see that Christopher Wilson. Let's see what the questions she's asking. I need to go back and start where she was talking. Christopher Wilson. Christopher Wilson, where are you from, Christopher Wilson? I don't know where you're from, Christopher Wilson. My question is that I have, is there anything we could do against CPS regarding the fact that we have done everything that they have told us to do with the safety plan and the family plan? Well, I don't know what CPS agency you're working with. You haven't told me where you're located, then I can tell you from that, because I know where there's bad CPS rogue entities and where there's good CPS. Now, they're accusing us of child abuse, me and my wife. Or while we're not married, that's fine, you're the biological parents. Yet they accuse us both of charging us with 5 counts of child neglect. That's an awful thing, 5 counts. You must have 5 children. You must have 5 children. That's why there's 5 counts. We do not got lawyers, and we got a lawyer. See, we done got lawyers, and we got a lawyer because we needed a criminal lawyer for the charges, but they're pressing against me. And then, okay, so you must have 2 matters. You must have a CPS case and a criminal case. What were you arrested on your criminal case? What were you accused of by the district attorney on your criminal case? Or did you have a policeman arrest you and charge you with a crime? Because you need to get your criminal matter taken care of first before you do your CPS. CPS will wait to the outcome of your criminal matter. I had both. I had a criminal matter and a CPS matter, and they sat and waited the first year till I took care of my criminal matter. And I recommend never do trading, never try to negotiate. If you're guilty, admit it. If you're not guilty, don't admit it. And that's what you need to do. Don't let them coerce you and tell you the plea bargain. Plea bargain is worth nothing. Nothing. Now, Christopher Wilson says, we tried to get a family lawyer, and our family lawyer doesn't seem, I feel if there's a personal bias from, well, if these are court-appointed attorneys, they're going to be working for CPS. Now, the criminal matter, if you're convicted of a felony or misdemeanor, such as sex with your children, I don't know what you've been charged with. But I'd like to try to help you, Christopher. I'd like to know what part of the world you're in. I feel if there's a personal bias from the supervisor against us because they have been in their custody for almost 9 months without a court date. That's wrong. They should not be in there for 9 months. There's definitely corrupt. I don't know what state or county you're in, but it sounds like you're in a really rogue CPS. I record everything since the hospital. Okay. What happened at the hospital? Oh, you're in Mississippi. Okay, now remember. From Tennessee and lived in Mississippi. You're originally from Tennessee, you live in Mississippi, your case was open in Tennessee. Alcorn County in Mississippi. Okay. Yes, to biological parents. Yes, child abuse. Hi, KK Richardson. Good to hear from you. KK is from Brooklyn, New York. She does a live stream on Mondays at 5:30 East Coast time. Welcome, KK Richardson. So glad to see you. We don't have much time. We're running low on time. I don't know why no one's called in. It's 49 minutes into the show. We have 10 minutes left. And what's the latest, KK Richardson? What's the latest? Now, don't forget my 5 rules that I've come up with to help you in your case. 1, get a real attorney, not a case-appointed or court-appointed attorney. 2, document everything. Make sure to start that instant time log. The instant time log, every instant you have. Devote 3 lines on a piece of paper. Line 1 is the location of the phone number, the date and time. All right, we have KK Richardson calling me. Hey, KK, how you doing? Well, I'm so glad to hear you. I had a interest tonight a couple times with some various people that were not very mature on here, but I think since then they've
Oh, wow.
stopped. I had my regular person from LA that got out of hand by constantly repeating 1,000 things and cluttering up my page, and then I had another person from LA that got out of hand and started badmouth my attorney. So,
Oh, well, let me give you the scoop on my latest situation.
all right.
I am like so baffled right now with everything that has happened. We had court on Wednesday
All right.
where we were getting we only have 30 minutes for the decision from fact finding. I was found guilty of neglect based on me having a mental illness that causes me to act erratic, and the only way for the children to remain safe and obtain a plan for permanency is only through adoption. So then they put the petition for the TPR in, and we go back to that in July.
Wow. Now, how did they find that you have a mental problem? Was that done by a clinical psychiatrist?
That was the original First of all, Bob, the original reason for the case to open was domestic violence and child endangerment when my ex-husband assaulted me and my daughter, who was his stepchild. And my children were home with me from September to February. And then in February, the school stated I called there at 6:30 in the morning threatening suicide because I was off my neck. But yet, didn't take my children until 7 days later. And if I'm so mentally
Hold on one
impaired,
second.
why?
Hold on one second. I have mouses that are getting into the dinner.
How this even happened? My ex-husband is getting, access. My mom, who, didn't want to take the children, now all of a sudden, when I asked them for an emergency ICPC, they didn't want to do that because I didn't want my family involved. But now you have my mom speaking to the children, and she didn't want to be a resource, which could have minimized all of this. But yet, they tell me she couldn't speak to the kids because I told them I was going to sue. So I don't know what. I'm not going to sue now. And then they, it's, I don't even know what to say. I feel like I'm living in my own insanity.
I'm so sorry, KK.
Like,
How did they determine you had a mental problem?
From the last case that where my children, from 2019, where my daughter got assaulted, and I went, to help, and they opened the case based on was I using, impaired judgment based on substance abuse history, and then I went and got a psychological evaluation. But I've always been in mental health services. I've always had that. So they knew that from the very first case.
Did you try to see a mental health professional and have them analyze you so that maybe you could disprove what they're trying to say to you?
Oh, I've done that, but I've been in service since before they took the children. That's why I don't understand.
Okay.
For them to say I'm impaired, but yet I've been in service nonstop since the last case. All my other cases, Bob, have been about substance abuse. This is the only case that substance abuse did not come up based on my medical issues and the medication prescribed.
Okay.
So, I feel like really lost because even with, getting advice from Mr. Davis, who's the best, the things that he's advised or, suggested, I have followed through with. And nobody is recognizing my law degree nor my passion for being a parent. They confuse everything with aggression and trauma and make it seem like, I am such an erratic person that my children want nothing to do with me. And, for an agency that's supposed to provide reunification, they don't even care.
Yeah.
But, people with mental illness, people that have mental illness are very, I can't say we're fragile, but we are complex. And when you hit certain triggers, it causes a decline depending on how what your diagnosis is or what how you deal with your coping skills.
Have you got another evaluation?
Yes, I did from an expert.
Okay, what about that evaluation? Could that not be entered into court?
It was entered, and they said based on my behaviors and the numerous calls I have made about neglectful things that the foster parent has done, that's not a reason to call in an SCR report. That's a reason to speak to my attorney. Are you kidding me? My children didn't have asthma pumps at school. That's medical neglect. But then you're telling me my children don't have asthma. Are you kidding me? My children don't have allergies, but they sent my children to an allergist who was an outside vendor, so they needed me to sign a release to get the records. I didn't give them a release. I went and got the records. That allergy place said my children have allergies. Chronic rhinitis was the first thing. But
what does an allergy have to do with your mental health?
That's what I'm saying. They keep saying I'm making these. They're trying to say I have Munchausen-by-proxy syndrome. Are you kidding me, Rob? I was a nurse for 6 years and a paramedic for the last 16 years. I'm still on the fire department's roster as a disabled medic. So although I'm not a doctor, I am very, very informed about the medical field, about the things that my children suffer with as far as their mental illness, my mental illness. I know, I'm working my treatment plan, using my coping skills. But this right here is psychological warfare and very unfair to put me in a triggering state so you can get a reaction that you want, so you can make the statements that you're just throwing out there.
Have you made a list of wrongs? Have you taken out a piece of paper and make a list of wrongs?
I got my whole binder together. You said there were
three ring binder. Yeah.
I have put every interaction, every non-interaction, every court order, every evaluation, every compliance letter, every visit, everything. I'm so organized, I'm over-organized. To the point where, I put everything on a flash drive. I have transcribed everything that is audio so it would be admissible. I have separated things year by year, month by month, module by module.
Okay.
So I'm my mom was on the last proceeding that we went to Wednesday. And she introduced herself, as her name, as my mother instead of the maternal grandmother.
Okay.
And when I asked her about it, I said, why would you not say that you're the children's grandmother? She said CPS and the foster care agency told her not to.
Oh, okay.
So, even me humbling myself and putting my mother, on a pedestal to see if I can have any chance of reunifying, because at least even if me and my mom don't speak, if my children are there, I humble myself and she gives me that respect. But in the same breath, it's like all the knowledge that I have, all the experience and all everything going on. She wants to constantly negate what I've been living and just basically co-sign everything that CPS and the foster parent are saying with no type of proof. And I'm showing her proof. And you know what she said to me? I don't want to hear all that legal mumbo jumbo.
Oh, boy.
My mother has a doctorate of education. She has a PhD in early childhood education. We will not, has not been a nurturer. She's been a parent. I was abused as a child constantly. And she never seems to remember that or wants to take ownership for that. And this is why I have some of the behaviors I have, not trying to, throw it off on anybody because, nobody can make me do anything.
Right.
But, I have put so much expectation in my mom just trying to get some type of love from her where I disappoint myself and it causes a decline with my mental health. And I'm not saying I'm impaired or, not adequately able to parent. But it puts me in a place of loneliness and isolation because I don't have anybody. Even you hate me that much that you can't even be a mom. You can't even be there for my kids. Innocence has nothing to do with interaction. It's unfair that my children get penalized and now brainwashed. So
Well, KK, I'm so glad you came in tonight, but you came in the tail end of my show, and it's now 8:00. It's over 8:00. It's 8:12, and so I've run over, and I need to end my show.
No problem, Bob.
Emmanuel from Pennsylvania says that she has a similar case that you're having, and she doesn't have anybody
Give
either.
My number, Bob.
Yeah, I will. But
my number.
I want to thank you, KK, for giving me an update, and that's really discouraging. I remember when you said you had them on the ropes, and now they did a rope. They did a rope a dope. They did a rope a dope.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. But I want to thank Amelia Farwell from Pennsylvania, Christina Reynosa from California. I want to thank who else here? Christine Wilson from Mississippi. We have KK Richardson on the phone from Brooklyn, New York. Thank you. I will. They will. And Christopher Wilson, thank you very, very much for calling in. I'll be on again tomorrow at 10:00 in the morning.
All right.
Yeah, I'm always on. I'm not forgotten you, KK. I talk about your show and about you all the time.
So my show is on tomorrow at 8. Eastern Standard Time, 5 Pacific Standard Time.
All right, 5:00 Pacific Standard Time. You can hear KK's show. Thank you, Britton McCormick, who is the daughter of Margaret King. And then there's Cruel Cassandra from Ventura. Thank you for being in here. And let's see who else. Oh, we had Okay, go ahead. And thank you, Cat Mom from Indiana. But you never told me the story. I hope you can either be a guest or call in again tomorrow. I want to thank all of you. Do not give up fighting for your children. Their most precious piece. Do not give up. You will, in the end, get your children back. You have to be persistent and work through this case. It is a nightmare. So long as you listen, you come back here. I'm on 14 times a week, so you can't miss me. So God bless you all, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this is Bob Pace signing off.